What's good, everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to another RPG news video. I am your #1 source for RPG news across all the platforms, but especially on the Nintendo Switch as well. But we're starting out pretty hot with a game that's rumored to come to the Nintendo Switch because it was already announced for the system. Then there was Nintendo Switch Pro type of rumors going on. It's been kind of crazy, but Genshin Impact 1.6 update, Midsummer Island Adventure. We've got a release date. We've got the first details. Genshin Impact just keeps on getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and when they do finally add that Nintendo Switch version of the game, it's even going to get more popular. So the version 1.6 update for Genshin Impact, dubbed Midsummer Island Adventure, will officially launch on June 9th. Developer miHoYo has announced, and hopefully I pronounced that correctly. I don't say their name too much on here, but I'm definitely going to start covering Genshin Impact as we get closer to E3 and potential announcements of the Switch version of the game. So here's an overview from the PlayStation blog. As the world of Teviant enters the hot summer season, in the upcoming update, we've prepared for you a tailor-made summer outfits and brand new series of sea and island adventures to refresh everyone from the heat. Meanwhile, Kazuha, the first playable character from Inazuma, will join in and lead the Archon quest to a new chapter. Travelers who've completed the main storyline with Liu will be able to move on to the new Archon quest with Kazuha. You may also spend some of your splendid summertime in Teviat with the Uncharted Sea area for a limited time during version 1.6. Now, there's a lot more in terms of what they do with the Summer Island Adventure and the dress up for summer, one closer to everything there, improvements. There's all sorts of stuff that's going on. I do want to read some of the improvements in terms of from a system perspective. So let's go ahead and get into that. Now, as always, in the end, we'd like to share some adjustments our team has decided to improve the current gameplay based on a serious considerations and player feedback. Some of you might have already noticed a patch released shortly after version 1.5 went live. The patch aims to improve performance from several perspectives, including a steady rise in frame rate on the PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4. Now, with version 1.6, if you're fond of the Serentia pop we introduced earlier, you will also be able to invite characters you own to reside in your realm. Characters in your realm will gradually accumulate character companionship experience over time, and this rate increase will grow faster with a higher Adeptile energy rank. So once again, Genshin Impact already out for the PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, PC, iOS via the App Store, and Android via Google Play. Nintendo Switch version is still in the works. We got some recent rumors that it could be on the next version of the Nintendo Switch, that they're still trying to work out some technical details, that maybe they're saving it for like a dual launch or something like that. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with it, but if you want to hear what I had to say about Genshin Impact, make sure you check out my video that I had before. You can find it here on the channel. But either way, I think that Genshin Impact continues to get better and better. I know that they continue to improve the experience as they get more and more people signing on. This game seems to just keep on picking up steam. Genshin Impact has been able to dramatically increase the player base more and more and just get more people talking about the game with their updates and everything. So I'm looking forward to playing it again. I actually already played it on the PlayStation 4 and I was just kind of busy at the time with other games, but I'll definitely take another look at it when it comes out on the Nintendo Switch and kind of see how that version stacks up compared to the other ones. And if there was some issues that they were having, because I know they had issues on the PlayStation 4 and they actually had to release some updates to increase the frame rate on PS5, so they also probably had some issues there as well, even with that hardware. So what are you guys thinking about Genshin Impact and this new version 1.6 update planned for June? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to the next topic here, guys. Surprise, surprise, there is a new big game up at the top of the Amazon sales charts and is looking to set records when it drops this fall, and that is Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. And not too far behind that game, the #2 game in terms of games on Amazon bestsellers is Pokemon Legends Arceus. Now, when you guys see this list, there's all sorts of like the Xbox card and Nintendo eShop cards. A lot of people do that because they don't want to put their credit card information on there. So you're always going to have people doing that. But when it comes to the games and just what is most popular, yes, it is #1 on there, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, then followed by Pokemon Legends Arceus. Now, I talked about Pokemon Legends Arceus potentially selling 30 million units plus fairly quickly, considering that Pokemon Sword and Shield, despite all of the complaints, all of the controversy, all of the accusations, all of the stuff that people levied against them. It was pretty crazy, right? That game still sold over 21 million units in about 2 years. I mean, that was crazy, right? Like, if you look at it, so it just kind of goes to show you that there is a realm far bigger than what people see in this vacuum of Twitter and social media and everything. There are people that have nothing to do with it and just want to play their games and enjoy it. And even with the complaints that we saw with what they're doing with Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, this game is going to sell crazy amounts. It's a faithful remake of one of the best generations of all time, when a lot of people did get more into that Pokemon experience and everything with the new age of online play with the DS, so, and the Wonder Trading and all of that. And it's one of my favorite, if not my favorite, generation of Pokemon. I really do love this one. I remember picking it up day one back in like 2006, 2007, picking it up and just being really excited. I took the day off from work to play the game, so I'm definitely going to be getting this. And the newly announced double pack is the #1 game here. So people are, not only are they just wanting to get the game, they want the double pack of the game as well. But I think the game that actually has even more potential is Pokemon Legends Arceus. This is the reinvention of the Pokemon franchise. This is almost a side type of thing, but a mainline game as well. And I love how they're focusing on the Gen 4 and they're going back to that region and everything. I think, to me, is the game going to be absolutely perfect with no issues whatsoever? Probably not, but no game ever is. Not even The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild launched perfect. So I do feel that there are going to be some things here and there, but I feel that it's going to have a great experience. I really do feel like they're going to shore things up. We could have new hardware that's going to help as well, but I think even on the base hardware, I think that the Pokemon company is working really hard on this one. And I've always talked about this, and I said this on like the old PE podcast and everything, is that it usually takes the Pokemon company about 2 to 3 games before they really kind of hit their stride with what they're doing on the system and improving from a graphical perspective and all of that. We saw that with the Nintendo 3DS. If you look at Pokemon X and Y, to Pokemon Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, then Pokemon Sun and Moon, there was a drastic graphic boost from X and Y to Sun and Moon. I do feel that with this being their third one, I mean, if you count Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, then Pokemon Sword and Shield, now you have this game here. Now, one thing to note here, guys, is that Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl is not made by Game Freak. That's an outside company that's working with Game Freak to remake those games. So I do feel that this one's going to be pretty awesome, and fans are excited. These sales obviously say another story when it comes down to it. So what do you guys think about this when it comes to Pokemon Legends Arceus, when it comes to Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, and what's going on there? Are you surprised to already see how crazy the sales are? Where do you guys put these sales numbers? Where do you think it's going to end up at when it's all said and done? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to the next topic here, guys. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, one of my most disappointing games for the Nintendo Switch, not for other platforms, but for the Nintendo Switch, apparently has a sequel in development. Not even apparently, it's confirmed to have a sequel in development, which I'm happy for Koji Igarashi, but I definitely have a little bit more to say on this. But let's get into the news here. So a sequel to Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is currently in development, according to publisher 505 Games. Now, in its fiscal 2020-2021 Q3 results presentation, the publisher lists the following notes for this Metroidvania throwback. Now, in the latest creation of Koji Igarashi, the former series producer of the Castlevania franchise, worldwide publishing rights on PC and all console formats, a high average Metacritic score of 81, 30.2 million euros, lifetime to date revenues, more than 1 million copies sold, expected lifetime revenues of at least 30 million euros, second version in development as well. Now, it should be noted that while the second version is usually a term for a sequel, it's also used for Ghost Runner selection of the presentation, which already has an announced sequel. So Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, once again available with PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, PC via Steam, iOS via the App Store, and Android via Google Play. And the Switch version, while they did do some updates, they still didn't get it to where it needs to be. And I think that's where my frustration kind of lies, because the Switch version sold the best. From what I understand, it did the best on the console front. So the fact that they never actually completely went through with everything. I know that they did a number of things and it shaped it up, but it still wasn't where it needs to be. So I'm really hoping with this next one that they do kind of figure it out and they prioritize the Nintendo Switch. And I'm not going to blame them completely because they were put in a little bit of a tough spot. I remember backing this game, I think back in like 2014 or 2015, 2013. It was like a long time ago. I backed this game so long ago, I forgot when I did. And I remember the Switch was announced like mid-development. They were already having issues trying to get this game up to speed. Then all of a sudden the Switch comes out of nowhere. Then they have to kind of scramble to get a Switch version ready. So I know that wasn't easy on them. And on top of that, Unreal Engine 4, which is what this game runs on, was not complete when this game was being developed on the Switch. It was complete on other platforms, but it was not complete on the Switch. They actually had to drop other platforms of this game, right? Like they were planning on doing like Vita and stuff like that. They actually had to drop that. So I'm not gonna 100% blame them for everything, but there is some shared blame to not kind of get that up to speed after the release of the game, because it's still, you know, 30 frames. There's still some issues here and there, and it crashed on me so many times when I played it. Now those crashes might be fixed, but I would like to see them have a better effort going forward with the Switch version of the game, and I think that it will. When it comes to like Bloodstained Ritual of the Night 2, it will be better on Switch or Switch Revision or the Nintendo Switch 2 or whatever is out by the time this game is done. So we don't know when it's going to come, but I'm guessing the development will be a lot shorter, faster, and easier this time around because they're just going to use Unreal Engine 4. They have platforms that they know how to use. Like, it's not a weird transition period. So I think that it will be better this time around. So what are your thoughts on Bloodstained Ritual of the Night getting a sequel? Are you planning on picking it up when we get some more information, or are you on a wait and see situation here? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to the final topic, Monster Hunter Rise shipments and digital sales have hit 7 million plus. Wow, what an achievement for Capcom on the Nintendo Switch. This just tells you they were wrong. The third-party developers that doubted the Switch were wrong. How can you not sit here and be stunned by this revelation? I know I am when it comes to this. They were definitely wrong. There was a lot of third-party companies that were wrong in terms of doubting what the Switch could do. And you know what? They've kind of somewhat lost out on money when it comes to it, but we'll discuss that after we talk about what Capcom has to say here. 2 months after the release, 7 million units. Now, total shipments and digital sales for Monster Hunter Rise have surpassed 7 million units worldwide. Capcom announced Monster Hunter Rise launched for the Nintendo Switch on March 26th worldwide and surpassed 4 million shipments and digital sales on March 29th, 5 million units on April 4th, 6 million units on April 27th. A PC version is planned for release in early 2022. Now, for comparison, Monster Hunter World launched for the PlayStation 4 worldwide and the Xbox One in North America and Europe only on January 26, 2018, and surpassed 5 million shipments and digital sales on January 29th, 6 million units on February 9th, and 7.5 million shipments on March 5th. Now, Monster Hunter Rise version 3.0 update, which added huntable monsters Crimson Glow, Valstrax, and Apex Zinogre, is now available for free. You guys can go pick that up. And of course, if you want more information on that, you can check out the link in the description. So this is fantastic to see. And once again, it just proves that the Nintendo Switch, if you actually kind of tune your game to it, if you've got the resources, you've got the team size, you've got the knowledge and what to do, you can make great looking games that play fantastic online, that sell really good as a third-party developer. And I think that more and more third-party developers are figuring this out and finding it out. And I think that even if you look at it, let's just compare another game, Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time. That's not going to sell as much as Monster Hunter, but imagine if they actually made a customized, fine-tuned game of Crash Bandicoot for the Nintendo Switch and didn't delay it like they did for the Xbox and PlayStation versions. Imagine if they actually went in and did what Capcom did here instead of waiting and kind of saying, okay, we're gonna make some stuff. It's a good port, don't get me wrong, it's a good port. But imagine if they actually did that. We see the Amazon sales, we see the NPD sales. Like Crash Bandicoot's doing fantastic on Switch, doing probably better than what it did on Xbox. And I wouldn't be surprised if it was right up there with the PlayStation version, if not higher than what the PlayStation version did. So when you actually try and you put that time to customize it and make it for the Switch, there are good results. Third-party games are doing fantastic on Switch. A lot of developers have made a lot of money on there. So it just goes to show you that companies like Bandai Namco were definitely wrong originally on the Switch. Now they're trying to kind of rectify things, but man, they are behind. But I would love to see more customized games from these publishers and developers on the Switch system. I think that there is bona fide success that you can have. Not even just bona fide success, like this is like first party sales level. It's definitely going to cross 10 million very easily, and this could be by far the best selling mainline core third party game on a Nintendo platform in a very long time. I mean, it's pretty much is. I mean, I haven't remembered the last time that we've got something like this. We've got stuff like Just Dance and other games, but man, it's crazy to see how well this game is doing. And I'm talking about core higher end game, not a Minecraft, not stuff like that, you know? So very good to see what's going on. So what are your thoughts when it comes to all these different topics here? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Check out the links in the description. We've got Twitter. Go and give us a follow on there. Stay up to date on all latest gaming news and information. Also, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you can. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you for the next one. Peace.